Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, we're going to be making a super fun DIY, something that I have been wanting to make since I got my laser over a year ago, and it's custom engraved pencils. I'm sure you guys have seen them everywhere. They're really popular, in demand, and everyone wants to make them and sell them. They're just so much fun. So I was like, I want to do that DIY on my channel. And you guys know that it is Teacher Appreciation Week, and the end of the year is fast approaching. It's only a couple weeks away here in South Carolina. So I'm going to be putting together my daughter's teacher gifts, and I thought that this would be a perfect little addition to that. And we're also going to be including a little gift box that we're going to make with our laser as well. So this should be a really fun DIY to do. So I want to also say that this is going to be a collab between 3 other Thunder laser owners. They're also YouTubers and DIYers, and they have awesome channels. So I'm going to go ahead and put them on the screen here. We have Things Katie Makes, Computer Creations, and Malone Custom Designs. So y'all head on over to their channel after you watch this video and check out what awesome crafts and DIYs that they did. And it's just really cool to see the different capabilities of our laser and all the fun things that you can make with your laser. All right, y'all, so let's head on out to the shop and let's get started with this awesome DIY. It's a beautiful day here in South Carolina. It is almost 80 degrees out today. So as soon as I get out to the shop, you guys know I got to do all the works, turning the lights, the air compressor, the lasers on, and then switching our air on, and then cleaning out the air just to make sure that there is no water in it. It only takes just a few seconds. So now I'm going to open up my Thunder laser, and you guys don't be hating on my honeycomb bed. I know it's dirty, but that's just because I use it all the time, but I definitely need to get to cleaning that. So next I'm going to plug up my laptop to the wall and attach it to my laser as well, and we're going to get to the computer and figure out what we need to do next. So this is the pencil jig that I got, and yes, you can make them yourself, but for $1.06, I think that is a steal. And then this is the pencil holder that I got that we can make along with this project. And I did want to mention that it is made and designed for 3mm wood, and I have a 1/4" wood, so I had to modify my file just a little bit. So here we are in Lightburn, and I have my pencil jig imported. You are then going to just make sure that you have your outer rectangle and center rectangle set to cut, and then set the Your Text Here areas to engrave. Because once your pencil is in the jig, it's gonna set to engrave all of those pencils. So now we pick our font. I'm using a website called wordmark.it to see all of the fonts on my computer to find the one that I want to use for this project. Something very important to keep in mind is that these pencils need a thin and clear to read font, since it will need to fit in a smaller area. Now we're back to our jig, and we're going to set up what we want our pencils to say. I picked a font called Jolly. I went ahead and spaced my text to be a little further apart so that you can read it clearer, and shrunk the font to the size of the Your Text Here that the designer had in the file. I made sure that I placed my text about where I wanted them to engrave on my specific pencils. So after testing a pencil out and figuring up speed and power, I determined that 400 speed and 13 power worked great for my 130-watt laser, but just keep in mind that this can vary. You can go faster and play around with the power a little bit, but I just determined that that speed and power worked great for my project. Now that we have all our designing ready and done, I'm going to go ahead and set the laser to cut just my jig. So I do not have the engraved stuff set up yet, but I have my jig along with the pencil box that we are creating set to cut now, and then we will get to the engraving of pencils next. Here is how your blank jig will look when you take it out of the laser. So these are the pencils that I decided to use for this project. So right here, I'm using the location tool on Lightburn to send my laser head where I want on the honeycomb bed. I use this tool to perfectly line up my jig in my software by selecting the 4 corners on the jig in the software. And when it sends the laser to that spot, I move the jig around on the bed until it's perfectly aligned. It works great every single time. So it was really cool to see that it only took less than a minute to engrave all 10 pencils. It was super fast and it engraved very clean, and I was really impressed. Isn't that so easy, you guys? I just think that this project, you could make so many pencils for so many different occasions and so many different things. And this is how they turned out. Now let's get on to making our pencil box. So what I like to do when I'm painting like 3D things for signs is I like to actually spray paint my wood first. So these pieces of wood are cut to size. I am spray painting them the color that they need to be, allowing it to dry, sanding it, and then doing a second coat over that, and then you'll have kind of really clean looking paint. So then once that's clean and dry, I'll put it in the laser and then I'll cut out the pieces that I need for my project. So like I mentioned before, this file was specifically made for thinner wood. So I definitely had to modify a couple things, but I will tell you guys, it was a solid piece once it was all glued together. This is just the outer portion, and then we have to glue our painted pieces on next. But I will tell you guys that it was solid. So if you have any design experience to be able to modify the file, it's definitely worth it if you don't have that thinner wood in stock. Once I was done putting all of my painted pieces on, I went ahead and sprayed some clear sealer over it just to kind of keep it protected. And, you know, it's going to be sitting on a desk, so I'm sure there'll be kids touching it and just a lot of pencils in and out of it and all of that. So I went ahead and sprayed that on after, but I did not show it. And I also put the teachers' names on there as well, but I do not show that portion in this video. All right, y'all, so here is how everything turned out. I think that it all looks so cute and ties together so well. This would make such a great teacher gift. You could fill it with things like our engraved pencils, a gift card, some new highlighters, and gift this to a teacher that you know. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to check out those other folks that also made videos in this collab for teacher projects. Thank y'all again, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.